Knight f3, Knight f6, g3, e6, Bishop g2, d5, Castle kingside, c5, d3, Knight c6, Knight d2, Bishop e7, e4, Queen c7, Rook e1, Castle kingside, e5, Knight d7, Queen e2, b5, Knight f1, b4, Bishop f4, a5, Knight e3, Queen b6, h4, Bishop b7, Queen d2, Rook fd8, h5, a4, h6, g6, a3, Knight d4, Knight takes d4, c takes d4, Knight g4, b takes a3, b takes a3, Queen a5, Queen c1, Rook d c8, Bishop g5, Queen d8, Bishop takes e7, Queen takes e7, Rook b1, Bishop a6, Rook b4, Bishop takes d3, Rook b7, King h8, Knight f6, Bishop b5, Rook takes b5, Knight takes f6, e takes f6, Queen takes f6, Queen d2, Rook c4, Rook eb1, Queen e5, Rook b7, King g8, Bishop f1, Rook c3, Bishop d3, Rook ac8, Rook a7, Rook takes a3, Queen b4, Rook ac3, Queen b7, Rook f8, Rook a8, Queen d6, Queen a7, Rook c8, Rook takes c8, Rook takes c8, Queen takes d4, Queen f8, Queen takes a4, Queen takes h6, Queen d7, Rook f8, Queen d6, Queen d2, King g2, h5, Rook b7, Queen g5, Queen b4, Queen f6, Queen b2, Queen g5, Queen d4. Rook c8. Queen h4. Queen takes h4. G takes h4. King g7. King g3. King f6. f3. Rook c5. Rook d7. Rook c8. Rook a7. Rook b8. Rook a1. Rook b4. f4. Rook b7. King f3. Rook b4. King e3. Rook b7. King d2. Rook b4. Rook f1. Rook b7. King c3. Rook c7 check. King d4. Rook c8. Rook b1. Rook c7. Rook b6. Rook c8. Rook b7. Rook c6. c3. Rook c8. Bishop b5. Rook a8. King c5. Rook f8. King d6. Rook c8. Bishop c6. Rook f8. Bishop d7. Rook a8. Rook c7. Rook d8. Rook c8. Rook takes c8. Bishop takes c8. King f5. King e7. King takes f4. King takes f7. g5. H takes g5. King takes g5. King takes e6.